You're welcome to Bell Fashion Academy, and in this video I'll be showing you how to draft the front and back bodice block. This is a pattern that fits perfectly well for different size or shape. So you may want to stick around to the end so you know how to draft this pattern, and you may want to subscribe so you will see more videos from me, because I'll be using this pattern to show you how to get real sophisticated designs. Any kind of sophisticated design for fashion designing, it starts with this pattern. So please stick around to the end, and if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, but most importantly, please subscribe and hit the notification to just so you know when I upload new videos. Now let's get started. These are the measurements we'll be needing, and as usual we'll start with our origin. From this point we'll start taking our measurements. So shoulder to my chest line, that's the armhole, then shoulder to my bust, then shoulder to my waist. I could decide to take this measurement a second time to get straight line, but I'll just square out since I have the square rule. Make sure your lines are straight and they are parallel to each other. Okay, these are my horizontal balance lines I've drawn. Now I will take my bust measurement. Bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch for my front bust, just so we have a perfect fit. Then for my waist, I'll take waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for my waist dart. And then I'll connect these 2 points together, extending it to my chest line. I'll mark my shoulder divided by 2 for my shoulder measurement. In this case 15 divided by 2. Then I will just square down to touch my chest line. My slant is 1 inch and my neck width is 3 inches, so I'll connect those 2 points together. Now I will introduce my shoulder dart. So I'll mark the midpoint of that line. Whatever you have there, divide by 2. So I'll mark that point and note that point where my shoulder dart will be. So first I'll get my bust pan, which is my dart placement. In this case, for this measurement, I'm using 3 3/4. I'll take it a second time, or I could square down, but in this case I'm taking it a second time so I have a straight line. I'll join those 2 points together and complete my dart legs, my left and right dart legs, half inch to the left and half inch to the right. Then I'll connect that point we marked initially to my bust point, and that's where my shoulder dart will start from. So I'll introduce a 3 inches dart for my shoulder. So from there I'll mark 3 inches. Sorry, I can't show you very well, but it's just 3 inches I marked right there, and then I connected that point to my bust point. Next, I'll have to complete my shoulder. Measure from your neck width to your dart placement. Whatever you have there is what you add here to complete your shoulder, such that when you close your dart, your shoulder will still be complete. So I will connect that point to this point, as you can see, with a straight line. So you have like an angle there. So you get the midpoint of that line, and take it in by half an inch. The midpoint of that line, then take it in by half an inch. So I'll just go over to connect those points with my French curve or armor curve, and that's it. So my neck depth is also 3 inches. It's just a basic for basic blocks. That's the standard for basic blocks, sorry. So I'll finish up my lines, my neckline. So that's that. So next I'll through my darts. What it means is that the darts legs should be equal. So I'll just measure what I have there and transfer it to that place. So I'm correcting that leg so it's equal when I join. I'll just roll it up, take it up a little. And just correct that part, as you can see. So this is basically how the front will be, and we'll go over to draft the back. Now for the back, same way, we'll just start by getting our origin as usual. Then we'll start marking our points like we did for the front. Shoulder to chest line, we'll mark. Shoulder to bust line and shoulder to waist. So we'll go over to square just like we did for the front. Now we'll shape our center back. To eliminate that bulge you usually see on most clothes, so we'll take 1 inch in. It's like a dart. It's actually a dart at the back. So you square that line up a little because we're going to take 1.5 inches. So that line should be above 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches you mark, and then you go up and mark 3 inches. That's because the human back is S-curved, so that's what we're trying to achieve here. It's actually supposed to be a curve, but I'm using a straight line so you don't get really confused, because you could go and curve it too much, but sometimes I do this. So this is just the base, and that's where we'll start taking our measurements from. So here we'll mark our back bust. So we are taking back bust as bust divided by 4 minus 1. That one we added to the front. We have subtracted it here. Now waist divided by 4, the way we usually do, plus 1 inch for that, for our waist dart. So connect those 2 points together like this. Like that. So extend it as usual. Then we'll get our dart placement. In this case, I'm using 4 inches for the back. So I'll just square this up, square it up to touch my bust line, and then I'll complete my dart legs to the left, to the right, half inch each, just like we did to the front waist dart. That's it. So I'll go over to my shoulder divided by 2, which is 7.5 here. I'll mark it, and then I'll square this down just like we did in the front too. The neck width is 3 inches, same as the front, and then the slant is 1 inch, same as the front. So we'll go over to connect those 2 points together. So I'll just join that as my shoulder slants. So the neck is 1 inch depth. Is a standard for basic bodice block. So I'll just draw my neck with a curve, as you can see. So that's how that looks like, and then we'll get the midpoint of this line again, like we did in front. So we'll get the midpoint and take it in too by half inch, but because there's something at that side going out, so we'll take just quarter, about a quarter of an inch. So we're not going to use half inch here, we're going to use just quarter of an inch. Okay, so instead of half here, we're using quarter of an inch because of that part that is going out. We'll just go over to draw our curve, our armhole curve, and that's how that looks like. And this is basically how the back looks like, and when you draft this, it will fit perfectly well. Notice that the back isn't straight, so you can't cut it on fold. So you remember to add your zipper allowance or your seam allowance, as the case may be. This is how it basically looks like. Thanks for viewing. I hope you did enjoy this class.